This video is brought to you by Keeps.com. Stay tuned to find out more.
One of the things that keeps getting talked about are NFTs.
What the f is an NFT, bro? If I'm really outside, but it's just a swinging contest. And like, look, I bought a picture of a monkey. The idea of an NFT, I guess, is like art or something, but none of the examples that I've seen is like beautiful art.
Yeah.
It's a monkey in a Supreme hoodie.
Yo, I've turned down so many. Today I turned down $60,000.
Here's what they offer. They'll give you a floor, which is a really good piece of project, okay? They're gonna give you upfront money. They're gonna give you a lot of upfront money. I've been offered hundreds of thousands of dollars for upfront to just post it. After the project releases, the value is gonna go down. People give me all the time, oh, you did MILF coin. Their favorite rappers and celebrities are all doing this and they don't care.
Bro,
but they just can't tell.
As a rule of thumb, culture is governed by trends. Whether it's fashion, food, art, or anything in between, our human instinct is to try to align ourselves with what's trending and see if it's for us. And sure enough, hip-hop is no different. Since the world of crypto, NFTs, and the metaverse suddenly became a hot button issue last year, rappers have sought to hop on the wave in every conceivable way. From becoming avid collectors to producing their own lines that offer all manner of incentives to their fans, the lucrative world of NFTs has plenty of rappers looking to get a piece of the pie. And while some have been lauded for using this new platform to sell genuinely interesting digital items, there are others who've been accused of flagrantly scamming their fans.
I think it's scammy. People are saying to me, Ross, drop an NFT, you can make grands. But then I thought about it and I was like, but I'd be selling worthless to my supporters. The people that put me in this position, the people whose eyeballs and clicks and views and time watched, their time invested in me, pays my bills. To me, that's just an unforgivable sin. I see a lot of these rappers dropping these NFTs and I'm just like, you lot are scamming your fans. You don't respect your fans.
All integrated into the blockchain and thus free of any physical worth, the nature of this new form of digital art has some industry titans feeling frustrated. Stop asking me to do NFTs, I'm not finna co-sign, Kanye West recently wrote on Instagram. For now, I'm not on that wave. I make music and products in the real world. But while Ye didn't explicitly say no and simply seemed unmoved by the concept, most of today's major rappers have no problem attaching their names to NFTs. Granted, it's not all so underhanded, and some people appear to be trying to push culture forward in this new realm. In mid-February of 2020, Snoop Dogg sold over $44 million worth of his Stashbox NFTs in just 5 days, giving fans a stake in his tracks in the process. And shortly after his purchase of the infamous Death Row Records, he also proclaimed that his planned rebirth of the iconic West Coast label will take place online.
Death Row will be an NFT label. We will be putting out artists through the metaverse, just like we broke the industry when we was the first independent to be major. I want to be the first major in the metaverse, so Death Row will be an NFT label.
In the same vein as Snoop, Tory Lanez released his latest project, When It's Dark, as an NFT, and as an independent artist, he set the tone for what could be conceivable if artists lead with the best of intentions.
You gotta understand it, I just sold the equivalent units at $1, sold 1 million copies flat by that's platinum, and I sold 1 million copies and I made $1 million in less than a minute.
Similar to the Dogfather, Lanez has since doubled down and launched a new project known as Decanter that is proclaimed to be one of the biggest of 2022. If NFTs were predominantly focused on the distribution of art to fans while cutting out the middleman, there's a chance that they would be seen as a force of good. After all, there's been no reports of scams after Nas revealed that he'd been selling off royalties of 2 of his modern era tracks in 3 tiers, starting at just $37. Likewise, the intentions behind MF Doom's augmented reality mask range were never seen as anything other than a chance to bolster his legacy in a way that was befitting such an iconic symbol. In an industry where labels have left countless artists out in the cold and on the wrong end of financial equations, destabilizing how we know the record label system to function or even providing artists with other revenue streams absolutely seems like a good thing. However, the problems arise when you dig a little deeper and see just how much of a deceptive frontier this new emerging metaverse can be. Unsurprisingly, one rapper who has been accused of shamelessly cashing in on the NFT craze is Tekashi 69. Alright, so I want to take a quick break to thank our friends at Keeps.com. For anyone that's endured a battle with thinning or receding hair, you know that it can be a real uphill battle. Even if it hasn't affected you as of yet, 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. But rather than waiting for that to happen, the best way to prevent that is by getting ahead of the problem. Keep specializes in doing exactly that, safeguarding the hair that you do have, and in some cases promoting growth within the 100,000 men that have put their faith in the product. And in most cases, results will begin to surface within just 6 months of the treatment getting underway. In essence, Keeps is a subscription service that makes sure your hair stays intact. Delivered to your door every 3 months, they provide personalized, doctor-recommended treatments at half the price of pharmaceutical plans. And while you're spared the inconvenience of heading down to their office, every treatment plan comes with round-the-clock messaging with a doctor for 1 year. Simply put, hair loss doesn't have to be inevitable. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/HHM or click the link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/HHM. All right, let's get back to the video. Priced at $400 per token, Tekashi 69's Trolls project was unveiled to the world with big ambitions of disrupting the internet and even producing a game that was based off its digital artwork. But within 2 months of its October launch, it was revealed to be an exercise in grifting his fanbase to the tune of over 4 million in sales, leaving those who purchased the tokens high and dry.
Since this space is unregulated, decentralized, and whatever other buzzword I need to add in, the developers can just bounce whenever they want, leaving everyone stranded. The project never even sold out, and that's because the organizers suddenly decided to stop minting. When Jacob became a minter, the Trolls team was still telling people that there would eventually be 9,669 NFTs. Something I notice about the investors in these NFT projects is that people are buying in with the expectations of making money. These projects and communities are being sold as long-term memberships, but everyone is trying to turn it into a short-term flip. I think that's partially why a lot of people are getting burned.
That number was 6,969 just about a week into the project's existence online. 2 days later, with 4,797 NFTs out in the world, the ability to mint vanished.
Another moderator called Crazy Troll soon promised members that Danny would address the situation soon. Instead, the musician deleted his Instagram post advertising the NFTs and changed his profile picture from one of the cartoon avatars to a photo of himself.
This, coupled with buyers on the Trolls Discord server telling Rolling Stone that words such as scam, ban, and floor price were banned from use, 6ix9ine's hastiness in distancing himself from the whole debacle would insinuate that what's known in the crypto world as a rug pull was perpetrated. In layman's terms, this basically means that the artists have helped to lure their audience in with the promise of something sustainable, only for their assurances to go undelivered. In extreme cases, this can even lead to the value or price to drop to zero. However, 6ix9ine is not alone in standing accused of taking part in a rug pull, as in September of last year, it was suggested that the Lil Uzi co-signed Eternal Beings was a scam of a similar kind that used his promotion and the promise of an exclusive live performance with Uzi as a means of enticing fans in. And on the subject of the XXL freshman class of 2016, Lil Yachty has been covered by Jamari, who has devoted a whole series of videos to rooting out scams as one of the main offenders who have fleeced their fans, namely through his widely promoted collaboration with Fuse, which essentially crashed and burned on arrival.
They're still advertising Little Yachty times Fayus, despite the fact that this Yachty coin has already lost all of its value. As they were selling this, it was pretty much like you were betting on Little Yachty's career, and if Little Yachty kept accelerating and had like some hit songs and stuff, your coin is gonna shoot up. You're gonna make so much money. We want to make everyone a millionaire. As you can see here, they did some NFTs with Little Yachty, something I also consider to be a huge scam. I mean, it's either that or all these rich celebrities are laundering money through these NFTs. If you have extra money to invest, do not buy an NFT. It's already been proven that like 99% of them are going to be absolutely useless, and pretty soon that number will probably be much closer to 100%.
Later down the line, Yachty would find himself suing another NFT platform after claiming that they maliciously used his likeness to raise millions in venture capital funds. On top of their work with Lil Boat, Fuse also brokered a brand tie-in with Post Malone's World Pong League, in which fans were compelled to hold 50 of their own cryptocurrency FYZ NFT in exchange for a chance to attend one of the shoots for the show. While the coin is now essentially obsolete, Jamari also discovered that at the time when the dangling carrot of hanging out with Posty was first promoted to his young fans, it would have cost around $1,000 to procure 50 coins. Away from the world from the conventional pump and dump, many believe that the nefarious relationship between NFTs and hip-hop is expressed through the culture's ability to transform certain high-end items into status symbols. Case in point, the Bored Apes Yacht Club. Given hip-hop's position as the #1 genre in the world, intertwining its artists with a line of NFTs is undoubtedly ingenious marketing, and that's exactly what the BAYC have pulled off. Currently totaling over $1 billion in sales, these crude drawings have become so prevalent in hip-hop that not only have high-profile figures such as Future, Meek Mill, Post Malone, and Eminem aped in, but Gunna has even tattooed his NFT to his leg. And when a Verge journalist managed to infiltrate a party held by the BAYC at Brooklyn Steel, he found that it was headlined by none other than Lil Baby himself. Seen as every bit as sought after as jewelry or cars that rappers once paraded around, the BAYC served to be one of the focal points of Anthony Fantano's recent piece in the Washington Post that pleaded with musicians to stop luring their fans into this unstable marketplace.
The musicians Post Malone and The Weeknd recently dropped a music video that depicted the purchase of a Bored Ape NFT, but he's just the latest artist to jump on the bandwagon. Eminem, Justin Bieber, Lil Baby, Future, and Steve Aoki are among those grabbing headlines by simply making announcements of a NFT purchase. This isn't a passion, it's barely a newfound interest. The whole thing stinks like an AstroTurf promotional campaign to generate interest in cheaply made primate doodles. This is not the kind of world for people who are still learning how to make smart financial decisions.
Left discouraged by the fact that it provides no safety net for those who may buy in based on the say-so of their favorite MC, Anthony continued by claiming that it cheapens the relationship with their fans.
And famous musicians and other celebrities greedily funneling their fans into this space isn't helping. It's just assuring that this stuff stays lucrative at the cost of a genuine emotional connection people have made with some of their favorite musicians' work. That's a trade that does not pay off in the long term.
Contentious as they are commercially viable, NFTs aren't just a potential hazard to fans, but as we've recently discovered, they can also become a battleground for beef too. As recently, it was revealed that former Rockefeller Records running mates Jay-Z and Dame Dash were embroiled in a lawsuit over the proposed Reasonable Doubt NFT. Speaking to the Dave Never Sleeps podcast, Dame revealed that the lawsuit came after Jay attempted to offer what Dame saw as a measly $1.5 million for his stake in Hov's debut album. Afterwards, he decided to take matters into his own hands and head to the metaverse for a better profit.
What I was doing was I was selling my third of Rockefeller Inc., which I can. Rockefeller Inc. owns Reasonable Doubt. Yes. That's the only asset in that company. It owns everything for Reasonable Doubt. I own a third of that. I was selling my third. They found out, and because there's nothing they can do about it, they accused me of minting the whole album. They accused me of soliciting that I'm going to sell the whole album or the rights or the copyright solely just because so no one else would want to buy it. So it devalued it. We went to court today. It was so crazy what they were saying. I'm like, yo, you're lying on me. They want to make it so it sounds foggy. I'm selling a NFT of a picture that will represent that you own a third. I'm not minting anything Rockefeller, Reasonable Doubt, and they know that because they're in the business. So they like just blatantly lied to the judge just for a headline and a narrative.
As it turns out, Jay's concerns don't appear to be about anyone being duped by the NFT space. Just 2 days after Dame's interview hit the web, Hov had sold a Reasonable Doubt-inspired digital artwork at Sotheby's for $188,000. At its core, a case of misinformation, such as Dame's attempted sale of his Rockefeller stake, gets to the core of why there's so much concern over the deregulated world of NFTs. As nowadays, it's so hard to decipher between what's legitimate and fraudulent that outlets such as HitPiece, who stand accused of turning artists' music into NFTs without any permission or collaboration, can actually get off the ground. At its core, although it would be unfair to vilify an entire medium, and cases such as Nas and Snoop's demonstrate that there is potential for responsible interaction between fans and artists, everything that we've learned about NFTs and their connection to the hip-hop space stresses the need for caution, rather than hastiness. And unfortunately, even if you love an artist, that doesn't necessarily mean that they value the love more than an easy influx of cash.